Good morning. Welcome to the new term. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and I also hope that you're keeping safe. Now, last term we looked at the basic elements and the basic principles that artists use whenever they want to create an artwork. And we also looked at some of the methods that artists employ in their work. In today's lesson, we will look at one method, which is the grid method. Now, to understand the grid method, you need to know what a grid is. A grid is a series of squares formed by vertical and horizontal lines that cross each other. Okay, so you have vertical lines and horizontal lines that intersect, or rather cross each other. So what this means is that you are going to have horizontal lines, a series of them, and you also have vertical lines crossing over the horizontal lines, and in the end they'll form square boxes. Okay, so the boxes that are formed are supposed to be squares and not anything else. Okay, so this method is used by artists whenever they want to make a copy of an image, okay, or they want to reproduce an image and they want to capture all the proportions and they just want to capture the likeness of the original image. So this method is ideal for that. Now, what do you need for this to take off? There are very basic things that you need. You need a pencil, okay, you need a ruler, you need an eraser, you need paper, and you need a picture. Now, the source of the picture. Now, you could get the pictures from a magazine in case you're going through a magazine and you find an interesting picture and you want to reproduce that in a drawing, or you simply just want to make a copy of it in a drawing. So you could source pictures from magazines. You could also source pictures from the internet if you are browsing through the internet and you find interesting pictures of either a pop star or whoever it is, and you want to make a drawing of that figure, and you also want to capture all the proportions that are in the original image. Then it could also be an image that you have at home of a family member and you want to make a portrait of that family member. So you could simply photocopy the photograph that you have and begin the work. So what is involved in this work? Okay, to start your work, like we said, you need a picture. You need to find a picture, okay? And of course you need to have all these things in place. So for my work here, I have a picture. This is the picture that I intend to reproduce. I want to make a drawing of this. Okay, so where do I start from? Now, the starting point is when you decide on the scale. Remember, we are using a grid. Okay, so what it means that I have to draw a grid on top of this drawing. I need to have a series of square boxes on top of this original image. So that has to be drawn. So, and you decide on the scale of your square, okay? Your square you could decide like, okay, my squares will have 1 centimeter, meaning that the height will be 1 centimeter and the width will be 1 centimeter, meaning that all the squares that you have should have the same scale. So here I am with the image that I want to reproduce, and for this image I've decided that I'll use 2 centimeters, meaning that my square boxes that will be drawn on top of this image will be 2 centimeters. So here I am starting. So I'll place my ruler just along the edge, towards the edge of the right edge of this image, and I'll start marking the points remember we're using a scale of 2 centimeters, so wherever there's 2 centimeters, I'll put a point. Another 2 centimeters, that gives us 4. Another 2 centimeters, 6. Another 2 centimeters. So this is a scale that I'll be using, okay, because I want my squares to have 2 centimeters. And the points that I'm putting here are the points that will help me construct horizontal lines, okay. So what I'll do, I'll carry on with this process until I get to the end, marking the 2 centimeter scale point, okay, until I get to the bottom of this. So you can see this is what I've done. I've put all the points, I've marked the points there. Now the marking should be done with a dot. Do not put a dash or any other thing. If you put a dash, that may give you a lot of problems when it comes to drawing squares. So my right edge of the paper is done with the marks. So what I'll do, I'll put similar points on the left. So this is how I'm going to start. Again, the same process. I'll fix my ruler there and start putting the marks. So the marks have been put on this side as well. So I have some marks on the left side. I also have some marks on the right side. So I'll start connecting the 2 points by drawing a line. So the 2 points will be connected by a line. So I have that point there connecting with the point on the other side, okay. So I'll go through this process until I get to the end. Okay, so I'm done with the horizontal lines. I've connected all the points that I had put. So this is how my horizontal lines look. Okay. So what I'll do now, I need to draw vertical lines so that I can create those squares. So I'll put similar marks on the edge, top edge of the paper, using the same scale of 2 centimeters. So I've started a point there, another 2, that's 4, another 2, that's 6. So I'll go on with this until I get to the end. So I'm done putting the points. So those are the points that I've put there. So what I'll do, I'll put similar points at the bottom so that I can connect the points at a later stage. So I'll start again, put my ruler there, and begin putting my point until I get to the end. So I'm done putting the points. What I'll do next, I'll start connecting the points on top, the points on top, the point on top with the point at the bottom by way of drawing a line. So I'll connect the 2 points. So the next one, so I'll go through this process until I get to the end and create my squares. So my grid has been done on the original picture. Okay, so this is how it looks. My squares have been done. So what I'll do now, I'll label the boxes. I'll label the boxes, those that are running down and those that are running across. So I'll start A, B, C, D, E, F. I skipped the first one. The first one I'll call it 0. Okay. So what this means is that all the boxes under A, regardless of the position, they are called A. Okay. They are labeled as A. The same thing with B, regardless of the position, even if it's here or down there, this box will still be called B. Okay. So the same with C, D, E, and F. Okay, so all these boxes running down are E, these ones here are E, these ones here are D, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'll move to the ones running across. I'll label them with numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and and 9 at the bottom. So it's a similar thing. All boxes running across like that are 1, these ones are 2, these ones are 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last one 9. So regardless of the position, if it's 1, even if it's here, it will still be called 1. Okay, so we have labeled the ones running down, and we have labeled all those running across. What do we do next? I'm done with this original image. So what I'll do now, I'll try to move to my other paper where this image has to be transferred to. Okay, so I have my plain paper here, and I'll put this away for a short while. So with this paper, I'll start the same process again, and because I'm transferring this image has to be transferred onto this. I have to put a similar grid here, a grid of the same dimension. Okay, now I'm maintaining the dimension because I do not intend I'm not enlarging the image, I'm not changing the scale. I just want to maintain the same size. So this is what I'll do. I'll start. Remember, I was using a scale of 2 centimeters. Now remember again, it's the same process. The mark has to be a dot. Do not put a dash, please. The dash will confuse you at the end, or you may not be able to get the squares that you need to get. So I'm putting dots using a 2 centimeter scale. So I'll do that all the way to the end. I'll do the same thing on the side, connect the points and create the horizontal lines. So I've connected all the points and I've drawn all the horizontal lines on this paper. So what I'll do now, I need to draw the vertical lines. So I'll go through the same process using a scale of 2 centimeters, put points on where 2 centimeters is, a point there, a point there. So I'll repeat this process until I get to the end. So I've put the points on top. These are the ones that will help me construct or draw vertical lines. So the ones on top, they have been placed. I need to place some points at the bottom using the same scale. Now, remember for the top ones, I started from the left going to the right. So even for the bottom ones, I'll start from the same side, meaning that you have to start from the same sides all the time. Each time you are putting these marks, always start from the same side. Okay, so I'm done putting the points at the bottom. So the next thing that I'll do is I'll start connecting the points. The points on top will be connected with the points at the bottom. So there's a point on top there. I'll connect it with this point at the bottom so that I can create that vertical line. And I'll move to the next one. Okay, so I'll repeat this process until I get to the end. So I'm done with the vertical lines. This is how my grid looks like. So the next thing that I'll do, remember I had labeled these. I'll do exactly the same thing with this one. I'll label it the same way. Remember I skipped this one, I made this one 0. Then this will be A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so the ones running down have been labeled. So remember the labeling is just the same way you labeled on the first one. So I'll label the ones running across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm done with this grid as well. This is how it looks. Everything has been labeled and it's exactly the same thing that I had done here. So the same thing, what is A here is also A down there. So regardless of the position, all the boxes coming down under A are A, okay? Under B coming down, all the boxes are B. Under C the same thing, under D the same thing, until you get to F, the last one that you have. Okay, so what do I do next? Okay, so my work has been done. So with this technique or this method of drawing, you do not look at the picture as a whole, okay? You stop looking at the picture as a whole, but what you start doing, you start focusing on particular boxes and the shapes that they contain, okay? Because this image has been divided into small boxes, so your focus changes. You start focusing on the shape that is contained in each box, and you transfer that information onto this grid, okay? So this is how it works. And let's say we start. For example, I want to draw this shape. So I start by trying to locate this shape. Where is it found? This shape, if you look at this grid, it's found under C. It's also found under 1. So it will be found under 1C. So you go to C, it's found there. Then 1, it will be there, okay? So when it comes to this, we said it's found under 1C. So 1 is here and C is here. So that shape is coming in this space. Or at times, if you don't want to use the 1C or something like that, you can simply count from 1 how many boxes are there, okay? So you have 2 boxes. Then the third one, this is where this shape is found, okay? So we'll start. So to draw this, you look at both the negative space and the positive space. So this is the negative space. So you take a look at the shape of the negative space. So this is the shape of the negative space. I'll start from somewhere there. And I'll check where it's crossing into the other box. So it's crossing at that point. Okay? So that is done. So I'll keep on focusing on individual boxes and the shapes that are contained. For example, I want to draw this. What do? This shape, I'll try to locate it again. This shape is found in 2C. Or simply count the boxes 1, 2, 3. So this third box and 1, 2, okay? So 2C. I'll go to this box. You look at the negative space. What shape does it take? It's more like a triangle. So I'll draw that shape, okay? So I'm done with this shape. If I want to draw this shape, for example, where do I find this shape? This shape is found in 1D. Again, I'll look at how it moves and how the negative space is affected. So it's somewhere here to cross at this point, because I'm paying particular attention to these distances. Okay, these distances. These are helping me come up with the correct proportions. So it's somewhere there, and I'll finish it off just like that. So this process is repeated until you get to the end. Let's say I want to draw this shape. Where do I find it? This shape is found in 2A. So 2A is here. Okay, 2A is here. Let's look at the shape. It crosses at that point. Then it comes down to this point. Okay, am I in the correct box? Yeah. So it comes into this shape somewhere here. It's about this thick. So I'll draw it that way. Then I'll look at how it crosses into the next one. It creates a triangle like, okay? So I'll cross over into the next one, just like that. So you repeat this process. Just focus on individual squares and transfer the information that you find in that particular square into this. So it's about locating the shapes, okay? So this is the work that you have to do. I'll post images on WhatsApp so you can pick some images that you can work on, okay? Thank you so much. Until next time.